How you doing, everyone? I'm Dr. Brian from Healthy Wealthy That's Why podcast, as well as from the health. I'm the founder of the Healthy Me 90-day challenge, where we go over weight loss, hormone balance. And so I put up these little questions to get people thinking every day. And the question was, is cravings and weight loss hormonal? And a lot of people think it's just, exercising more or abstaining from eating. How much easier would weight loss be and your life be if you didn't crave food all the time? So today's quick video, maybe 5 minutes, is cravings and weight loss hormonal, and how does insulin and leptin, which are both hormones, and they get resistance, affect weight loss? So again, this is not a doctor patient relationship. I do not treat, diagnose, or manage disease. You're doing this on your own. If you have any concerns, consult a primary care provider, and please post any questions you have in the Facebook feed. So what is insulin resistance? Well, insulin is the hormone that when you eat sugar gets released by the pancreas right here, and it opens a door to allow sugar into the cells. That's how the cells make energy. And you have to make energy if you want to be alive. So what happens is if you eat more sugar than you need to, it bombards the cells with so much sugar. So you eat a high carb diet, you got constant high blood glucose in the blood, and then the pancreas has to keep making insulin. And then eventually the cells start to get insulin receptors become resistant. They resist the insulin from getting into the cells. And what happens? Now the sugar spills into the bloodstream. And eventually it's not getting into the cells. So you're starving all the time. You have high glucose levels, high insulin. And what does your body do? It converts that excess sugar in your liver into fat. And that's what insulin resistance is. Your cells are bombarded with sugar so much and so often that they become insulin resistant. They're not, insulin doesn't work on the cells anymore. It's basically insulin resistance. And so the fat around your waist is not the fat that you eat. You eat food, you make insulin, your cells resist insulin. The body stores the sugar, gets stored as fat, and then you feel tired and hungry because you're not making any energy. Look at sugar consumption. This is to 1822 to 2005. Used to be about 10 pounds a year. We're here right now at 2022. I believe we're at 150 pounds a year per consumption per person. Crazy. Now let's go to ghrelin and leptin. Leptin, that's a chemical that's released by the fat cells that's supposed to tell you that you're full. So when ghrelin's low, that means it's produced by your stomach cells. Leptin's low, ghrelin's high. That's before eating, you're hungry. After you eat, your fat cells are supposed to release leptin to make you not hungry. That's the cravings hormone, is leptin. And leptin maintains homeostasis in response to high fat levels. What does that mean? You're supposed to, that if we have enough energy, like fat is stored energy. So when you eat more sugar than you need, it gets stored as fat. That's what it is. So fat is stored sugar. And your body's smart. If it has enough stored energy, it's supposed to release leptin to tell you that you're not hungry so that you don't keep eating. So I got plenty of stored fat around my waist. I don't need to eat. What happens? You get leptin resistance. So in your hypothalamus, or in the little part of your brain here, is when leptin's high, you decrease food intake, your metabolism rises, your temperature rises, inhibition of insulin synthesis and release. That's what's supposed to happen. What happens if that doesn't work out right? What is leptin resistance? If you eat after a while, just like with insulin resistance, if you have too much fat around your waist and your arms, you start producing a ton of leptin. Too much. What happens? The brain starts to reject it. The receptors get clogged up and you can't process leptin anymore. What does that do? It tells your body to be hungry again, even though you're fat. So even though you gain more weight, you crave. And why is that a bad cycle? Because every time you crave, you get heavier and more fat cells. You're making more leptin resistance, which is making you crave more. So leptin resistance, as your increased fat stores and your whole body inflammation, your body develops leptin resistance. The disrupted signal in your brain, the brain senses low leptin levels, leading to food cravings and overeating. You increase your calorie intake. And in my program, we don't pay as much attention to calories. We pay attention to more carbohydrates, and then you gain weight and you can't stop gaining weight. What are the symptoms of leptin of leptin resistance. Well, helps to regulate your thyroid. You get thyroid problems and metabolism. Your metabolism goes down. You're fatigued and tired. You decrease glucose stimulated insulin. You get more insulin resistance. Increased heart rate. Regulate bone mass. Regulating the menstrual cycle. You get PMS problems, irregular cycles, fertility problems. Regulate appetite, control metabolism and energy. You're fatigued and tired. You have cravings. Activation of immune system and high blood pressure. So what's the problem? We get fat from eating too much sugar, not too much fat. What's the solution? We need to eat less carbs and hack into cravings. System. We need a system to keep on track. And the difference between knowing the path and walking the path, there's a big difference. Which leads me to, I have a 90-day challenge coming up starting September 19th. We go over cravings, intermittent fasting, insulin resistance, leptin resistance, biohacking, epigenetics, how to start to go longevity to improve. Epigenetics is activating the pro life genes to make us live longer, age slower, hormone balance, mindset, accountability, all the above. And this is a steal, guys. $397 for one, $697 buy one, gift one, or about $350 each if you have someone else that wants to do it. There's daily check-ins and videos. There's weekly Zoom meetings. It's a private group where I've had this group for about 2 years. This group is killing it. There's about 20 people in there right now. I'd love for you to join us if you want to do that. It's coming up. There's about 10 discounted spots left. And here's part of our tenets of the group. Keep it simple. Complexity is the enemy of execution. Done is better than perfect. Action is more important than knowledge. We're all in this together, and be a strong finisher, not just a strong starter. And again, we already went over that part. I don't need to do that. And the other thing is that when you have high insulin, the hormone that goes in and takes fat out of your cells and starts to use that as energy doesn't work. That's called glucagon. And insulin and glucagon are inverted. When you have high insulin, glucagon can't work. And when you have low insulin, glucagon starts to work. What happens? You can't become a fat burning machine when you have too much insulin in your system. If you're interested, or if you know anyone else that's interested, please share this with your friends. I'd love for them to see this. And that's going to be it for today.